Hello, thank you for joining me for the third video in our Kintsugi Inspiration series. This is the card that we're going to make today, but I am going to change it slightly just because when I was cutting the pieces for the card, I decided that I didn't actually like it with the border around that, so I've extended those pieces that they're going to go all the way to the end, and the extended version pieces are in the tutorial. Okay, and once again I'm going to do the same as I did with the last card. I'm going to use the bright borders for the sentiment. I just think that at the moment these sentiments are talking to me and I'm really finding them useful, nice sentiments. I love that font. So we're going to be changing that slightly as well. Alright, now to start off with, I would say stamp that sentiment or whatever sentiment you're using, because that's going to help you with positioning everything else. And I was going to stamp on camera, but I decided I would also stamp it off camera, just so that if it didn't go well on camera, I had one that was stamped ready to go. I was actually going to stamp on the other side of the page. Then I decided, well, seeing that I've stamped it and it looks pretty good to me, I'm not going to do it again. So stamp your sentiment. Okay, and then we're going to start layering. So I've got my white strip over here, which I've put through that embossing folder. No, that's the join together embossing folder. You can position it wherever you like depending on which of the patterns you like. And I'm going to stick my DSP onto the side of that embossed piece. Now this DSP is the exact same width. I'm actually going to put it that way, and you can choose which of the embossing you want sticking out. I like that sort of florally bit over there, so that's why I'm hiding the other. Next, what I've done is I've actually cut my flowers out of the middle of my petal pink piece. I didn't have a scrap that was big enough to fit that, and you're not going to see that anyway. So we're going to stick our embossed piece on top of the petal pink, and like I said, this time I've done those measurements so that it's going to go all the way to the edges. Doesn't matter which way it goes, but I'll just put it that it's the right way. And we've got a little border. Now I did actually put adhesive sheet behind my petal pink piece for that die cut, because for me it's much easier than trying to glue those florals down. So, not that it makes too much difference, but I'm actually just going to lift that off, that I've got that sticky bit on the bottom here as well, or on the back rather than the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to stick my petal pink piece onto my Misty Moonlight. Let's try and get the hair out. And then all three layers are going to go onto my card front. And you could stick this and then stamp the sentiment afterwards, but like I said, for me it's just easier if the sentiment's on first, then I can see exactly where I'm sticking my strip. Okay. And then the whole piece is going to go onto the front of my card. pretty easy. Now you could cut these flowers out of your piece of DSP, but I decided instead of doing that, I'm actually going to stamp them. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the marker to stamp technique. So my old olive marker, I'm going to just colour the leaves and stems. Yep, I think that's okay. And then I'm going to take my petal pink marker and we're going to colour the flower. So that's the one, I guess, disadvantage when you've got a stamp that's got a complete flower with its leaves, is it's fine if you're stamping it all in one colour. It's a little bit more difficult if you want to do it in two colours. But using your markers to apply different colours to different parts of your stamp works really well. And then just give it a little breathe on just to wet the ink in case it's dried a little bit. Oh, that's not that politically correct post-COVID. And then you're going to stamp it down. Okay, so you're then getting that two-tone flower coming through. You're going to stamp one of those onto your insert. Sorry, just having a little choke. Stamp two of them onto just a scrap of basic white and die cut the two. Insert can go inside the card. Maybe it'll help if I actually put it inside the card that I'm making. Oh goodness. We have a problem here because I grabbed an insert which is not for this card, it's for another card, but okay, I will sort that out afterwards. Let's just hope that this isn't sticking completely. Alright, now what we're going to do is decorate the front of the card. I'm a nightmare, honestly. It's if I have something that works completely with nothing being the wrong size or not being here when I need it, then I don't know, it would snow. But anyway, we just roll with the punches. So I'm going to stick, and I'm doing this one the other way around as well, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my cup flat, and then my flowers are going sitting on top of the cup. I just don't want them going off the edge of my card. That card was actually for one of my Perfectly Pairs cards that I wanted to make, so that didn't work so well. Now, I had stuck that flat and stuck the vase behind the cup, but I'm going to do it the other way around now. I'm going to stick the vase that it's slightly in front of the cup, and I'm going to put it onto dimensionals. And pick your colors. You know, you've got all those colors in the DSP, so you can choose whichever one you want. And I'm sticking this so that it's covering up the join between my DSP and my embossed sheet. And lastly, we're going to stick the flowers. So one flat, I want that one a little bit more over, and then my second one I'm going to put onto dimensionals. go. And there's our two cards, and if I don't lift it up, you don't know that the back, that it's not actually on a complete card base. I will get that moved across and take a photo of this with the strips going all the way across, and you won't know that it's not what it's supposed to be. It'll be all done to send out. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this card, and I will see you again tomorrow for the last card in the Kintsugi series. Have a good Sunday. Bye for now.